Food Regulatory Authority, and supported by Cargill. So, as you all know, that the SDPI is a well-known national and international level with international and national presence organized think tank, and it has a long history of working with the governments and advising on policy matters. So this project was conceived and implemented to enhance the and participate in the government's efforts to reduce the industry-produced trans fatty acids, which has very bad negative effects on health. And Pakistan is, as you we 58% of the deaths in Pakistan are due to the non-communicable diseases. And ITFA is a very risk factor for the ITFA, for the non-communicable ischemic heart disease particularly. And this is like around 10.13% of the deaths due to ischemic heart disease are attributed towards the ITFA. So, and this is above average, global average of 8.7%. So that means that shows that the Pakistan has a problem in this, and we need to put efforts together. So, and the second is like it has a positive correlation with the obesity. And according to the NNS 2018 National Nutrition Survey 2018, around 7.5% of the adolescent population is obese, which is quite alarming number. And I think the particularly the dietary habits of the adolescents contribute a lot to this. So for this project, I can read that we have three objectives, and let me read these three objectives clearly so that we can all can participate positively in this discussion. So the number one objective of this project is to reduce the consumption of ITFA in Pakistan by increasing policy engagement, public awareness, and education about the health risks associated with the ITFA consumption. Second objective is to encourage the food industry in Pakistan to reformulate their products and to reduce or eliminate the ITFA from their products. So number three objective is to engage with the Pakistani government and advocate with evidence for policies and regulations that promote the reduction or elimination of ITFA in the food supply. So these are the three objectives, and these are, it seems very simple objectives, but to achieve these objectives, it is necessary to collaborate and to have concerted efforts at different levels to compile the knowledge, evidence, and engagement with the various stakeholders, including the government, the food industry, academia, public health advocates, and to implement and to enforce the policies that can effectively reduce the ITFA consumption and promote the public health. So for objective of this symposium is basically to share the knowledge or evidence which we have collected or compiled at the SDPI with all the esteemed experts as well as the stakeholders, and to get their feedback or comments to bring out something good policy recommendations which can be presented to the government. So we are expecting a good outcome of a comprehensive policy recommendations to be presented to the government for increasing the momentum for policy interventions, which is already there. So for this symposium, we have our esteemed guests from partners from Cargill, Mr. Sarang Bukhari, who is the government relations lead at Cargill, Pakistan. So I will ask, so he's a public policy expert and has diverse experience of working with the government and private sector. So over to you, Mr. Sarang Bukhari, for your welcome remarks.
Thank you everyone for joining today. I think we have a wonderful audience, and I think looking forward to a very engaging discussion. I just want to talk a little bit about Cargill's commitment towards reduction of ITFAs. So globally, we're one of the first companies that has come to WHO's 2% recommendation, and that is across all our portfolio globally. and we made that commitment in 2021 December. And as of 1st January 2024, all our edible oil portfolio will have TFAs less than 2%. We understood a couple of countries, which included Pakistan, did not have regulations that were in compliance or they were similar to what the WHO had recommended. So we are very happy that we partnered with SDPI on this initiative. We look forward to learning from all the experts. Your opinion is a lot more important. And for me personally, this is a learning experience. I want to see what everyone has to say. And I hope that we can achieve all the objectives and reduce obesity and health related issues that are preventable by just having regulations that will prevent health outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saran Bukhari. And now I will invite Brigadier Tariq Said for his welcome remarks. He is a government relations advisor with the Kargil, Pakistan, and he has 32 years experience of diversified military experience of command, staff, instructional appointments in diplomatic and international, domestic and international environments. He is winner of different awards and appreciation in his military engineering services. Over to you, Mr. Brigadier Saab. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And thank you very much, everybody. I'm not a technical person per se. So you are the technical person who will be guiding us on this issue. I'll just introduce the company. You may be knowing that Kargil by now is 159 years old company. And the logo of the motto of the company is nourishing the world in a safe, responsible, and sustainable way. Now, these three words are very important. Just to give you an example, that there was some ingredient in Europe which had some negative effect on the health of the people. It was pointed out by some of the company, and that product was recalled within hours or days from the total market. So once we were discussing this ITFA business with one of my colleague in Kargil, in Karachi, the target given was, Kargil was given by 2023 or 24 December?
January 1st, 2024.
January 1st, 24. Now, this was the deadline that we will reduce the ITFA globally by January 24. So I asked my colleague that what would happen if it is to be done in Pakistan, because we won't be able to compete in the market if you do it, because there are no regulations. The Kargil said that no issues. We will have to reduce it. So I told them that you will be closing your business then. So the company said, we don't mind this closing the business, but we will go by our commitment. So this is which I was talking, that it is a responsible way. So the company puts the people always first, their safety, and they are very cognizant of the fact that the safety of the food is very important globally for the name of the company. So that's how it is. The company is now 159 years old, and still it is a global company which is leading in food ingredients. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brigadier Saab, for highlighting the company's vision for this particular subject. And now we can start our technical session, and it will be started with the technical presentation by Dr. Tahira Siddiqui. She is the Deputy Director at Islamabad Food Regulatory Authority, and she is a PhD in food technologies, and she has 9 years of diversified experience working in public and private sector. Over to you, Dr. Tahira.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kargil and SDPI, for giving this opportunity, and welcome to all of you in this important symposium, as this is the very important topic nowadays, and it is very important for our health also. There is a great health issue due to trans fatty acids. Just to start with introduction, Uh, okay. We are working for reducing the industrially produced trans fatty acids in the Pakistan. STPI has started working on it, a policy brief they have prepared. Here are the table of contents that I will represent here. I will tell you about the fats, their origin or background, or how they are produced, and what will be the methodology follow the STPI or in this policy, what they are working for, and then what alternatives can we have to reduce the industrially produced trans fatty acids. Normally, when we talk about the fats, there are two types, saturated and unsaturated, and it is very obvious that saturated are the solids that at room temperature and unsaturated are the liquid at room temperature. It is the very basic concept that we are given in our graduate studies also. Trans fats, actually, they are basically found in the meat or dairy origin, and this is 6 to 8% only. But when we do partial hydrogenation with vegetable oils, उधर से आवाज शायद हिली है. Okay, I think I'm audible. Recording.
Hello. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Trans fatty acids are naturally found in the meat and dairy products, or when we talk about the vegetable oil, when we do the partial hydrogenation, then it is produced there, and that is called the industrially produced trans fatty acids. This is the basic difference. Industrially produced trans fatty acids are found in our bakery products, fried products, margarine, naspati ghee, shortenings, and it was started. The use of industrially produced trans fatty acids, they started in the 20th century when saturated fatty acids were promoted. And WHO ranks Pakistan the second highest consumer regarding the trans fats consumption in Eastern Mediterranean region. It has many health impacts, just like it increases the cardiovascular diseases. According to WHO, 278,000 deaths per year globally are due to the industrially produced trans fatty acids. And there is a positive correlation between the obesity and the consumption of trans fatty acids, and in the same way, it increases the ischemic heart diseases, as Dr. Azia told you. The objective of this symposium or our studies are this to develop and promote the alternatives for the industrially produced trans fatty acids, to address the health and economic concerns, invest in public awareness campaigns, to give the knowledge to the public. They should know why it is important to alternate or change the use of industrially produced trans fatty acids, why we have to change our lifestyles, why we have to change our eating habits. We have to give them the awareness regarding it. So for this, we have to promote the collaboration, data sharing, and also facilitate the dialogues between the industry and the technical persons to communicate our message. This was the methodology, how all the data was collected. All the team have a deep review in the literature. They have the discussions with the industry peoples. Now they want to have the collaboration with various stakeholders, including government, industry, and the health sectors. The key findings from the all data reviewed or after mapping of the Pakistan or circumstances, we find out that there is a decentralized food regulation system. In every province, we have separate regulatory body, and there is no central system where they coordinate or they communicate with each other. This is going in our province, this is going in the other province. No communication, such type of communication, no centralized data. This is the major, I can say, a drawback of our society, our community, our setup. And there is variability in enforcement capacity, just like in Punjab, sealing is banned, but in Islamabad and KPK, we can seal the business. Just like enforcement capacity is different. And there are challenges in enforcement, public awareness, and industry pressure is also there. When we ask the industry to do this, sometimes this pressure come from industry side. They have political references, they have parliamentarian relationships. So different types of pressures come. Industry people know very well. They are sitting here. Here is the current situation analysis of our country, that we import edible oil at second largest after petroleum. It means we need only oil, either for our vehicles or either for ourselves. We are just focusing on oil. So there we have spent $4.3 billion in import of fats and oils. And it reflects significant demand because we all love to eat. Just
Like me, I love to eat paratha in my breakfast. I can't eat chapati. And in the same way, our new young generation, they love to eat bakery and the fast foods. So we have to focus on this point. Here is the trans fatty acids range present average in our products. And you can see we are focusing to reduce it to 2%, and here is the above the 10%. And this is really alarming for our health. Provincial authorities and their regulations currently now in October 2023, there is harmonized standard regarding the trans fatty acids. It is decided they have decided the limit not more than 2 gram per 100 gram. Earlier, it was different for all the authorities. Just like in Punjab, it was 0.5% of total fatty acids, 3% for infant formula. It was different for all the products in different provinces. Just like in KPK, it was 5%. In Sindh, it was 5%. Balochistan, there was no specific regulation there. And now in Islamabad Food Authority, as it is lucky for us that we have formulated the Islamabad Food Authority after the harmonization of the standards. So there is no chance to adopt the or make the separate regulations. We are following the harmonized standards now. When we talk about the so many things about the trans fatty acids, then we have to focus on the alternatives also. We have to give the people and the industry the alternative for the industrially produced trans fatty acids, how they can reduce it. Everyone say that it is very easy to criticize, then nobody gives the solutions. But here we will discuss about the alternatives. Alternatives can be of two types, regarding their sources, regarding the practices. In sources, we talk about the raw material that is used by the industry. It includes palm oil, palm olein, and other options are oils, canola oil, soft oils that are called sunflower oil, soybean oil. And there may be another sources, just like uh, olive oil, you can use rice bran oil, and various fractions of palm oil. Blending of these oils, it can also be a source to produce a ITFA free or with limited ITFA vanaspati ghee production. Direct blending of 60% palm stearine and 40% liquid vegetable oil, it is also acceptable. And if we have 95% palm oil and 5% palm stearine, it can also produce the vanaspati ghee, which have the limited ITFA or within the range ITFA or no ITFA, you can say. There are so many such combinations industry can adopt. Another alternative is included the practices. If industry is working, then during their production, they can have different steps where can reduce the ITFA. So in these steps, they can use the dry fractionation technology with combining the blending of fractions. They can use interesterification process. Interesterification is of two types, chemical or enzymatic. Both are helpful in reducing. And then I've also studied about it that during refining there are steps. During the deodorization, the temperature goes above the 200 degrees centigrade. If we reduce that to 200 degrees centigrade, then ITFA production can also be controlled at that step also. And in the same way, we have to stop the partial hydrogenation. During partial hydrogenation, when hydrogen is not available, there is 50-50 chance of cis and transformation. So trans fatty acids can be produced there also. There are equal chance there. So if we avoid the partial hydrogenation, then we can also control it. Next is we can build our laboratory capacity to assess the ITFA contents. As ITFA are measured by GCMS, HPLC, FTIR, these are the very heavy equipments. And when we use it, then we have to provide the industry some discounted prices at local small level, or we have to introduce the duties and taxes more favorable to ITFA free products for the industry. We have to give them incentives. When we give them incentives, they will work on it. It may be used as an alternative. Then recommendations are regarding our stakeholders. There are different stakeholders, parliament, provincial assembly. The parliamentarians are the champions, you can say. They are the major hurdle and they are the major supporters regarding industry. And if we ask them to use their think tanks at subnational level, at national level, just like Prime Minister started a project or an initiative in 2023 about the calories. Every restaurant have to write the calories in their menus. If they can start such initiative, they can also start the initiative for trans fatty acids. This is a recommendation for them also. They have to take such initiatives at that level. In the same way, Ministry of National Food Security and provincial governments, they should allocate budgets for such initiatives. They give uniform enforcement of regulations, just like I talked earlier during my key findings that we have no uniform enforcement regulations. So we have to strengthen our departments at every level. We have to engage the producers, traders, retailers, all of them in creating and searching the alternative sources and adopting them. We have to align the policies at country level. Ministry of National Health Services, they can also play their role by communicating the people, by communicating the public awareness, by creating public awareness by telling the people about the harmful effects on the health. They can also ask the hospitals to display their about the ITFA use in cardiovascular diseases, in heart departments. In cardio departments, they can display the banners to avoid the use of ITFA. So in public awareness, Ministry of Health can also have their role. Ministry of Science and Technology can play a role by combining, by giving partnerships, by giving the research opportunities to the institutions, by engaging the universities, by strengthening the laboratory capacity of industries and universities also. When our students will learn these things, then our industrial people will also be capable of doing all these things. They will have good capacities because these students will be in industries in future. Then federal and provincial food authorities, just like I am the representative of here of a food authority. Punjab Food Authority started an initiative very 3 to 4 years ago. They want to ban the banaspati ghee in 2020, but they couldn't. We cannot ban anything all of sudden because we all, like a general public or like a common people, we cannot adopt these changes all of sudden. We have to gradually transitioning the from naspati ghee to oil. Just like I used to say that paratha is not good when we make it from oil. It is very crispy and, looks wise good when we make it from the banaspati ghee. So we have to, first of all, we have to change our mind setup. We have to change our people. We have to create awareness at their level. Then we can change all these things. There should be mandatory labeling, as in PSQCS standards it is decided that there will be mandatory labeling regarding the IFA content, and there must be comprehensive penalization. No specific penalization in any SOPs of any food authority yet, but in future we can adopt it. Competition commissions of Pakistan, just like HEC, they can ask the public sector universities to help uh, to conduct researches of MPhil or PhD students on the ITFA elimination alternatives. In the same way, ministries can play a role by stopping the people to advertising the wrong things, just like we see in ads. They can also stop them. STPI, think tanks, and other civil society partners, including media, they can play a major role, just like STPI is playing their role at this time by the help of Cargill. So electronic media or social media is very strong in our time. I can say nowadays, you can just have to put a line on the social media and it goes viral to many thousands of people. So they can play a role there. Different ghee associations, oil and edible oil associations, they can also take part in this. Chamber of Commerce, they can also have their role, because at Chamber of Commerce, all the industries are registered. They normally have get-togethers there. Chamber of Commerce and Industry can call out all these stakeholders at one forum, and we can convey our message there very effectively. And Chamber of Commerce can play a role in this way. Finally, it is a complex challenge to eradicate the ITFA, but we will try, and we have to adopt the effective policies to ban the partially hydrogenated oils especially, and transparent labeling. It is a multifaceted approach. We have to coordinate and collaborate with all the stakeholders, and we have to play our part. Our work plan for 2024 is to launch a database on ITFA, gather the inputs from industry and the technical persons, just as today we are here gathered, and advocate the ITFA labeling in this way, in this domain. The regulatory bodies will play their role, and we will align them with ourselves, all the authorities, to play their major role here. And we should continue refining the ITFA free database and initiate the communication plan, and will engage the government and the parliament members to sensitize them on the ITFA issues. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Tahira, for, I think, quite informative presentation. And now we have PSQCA from, yeah, we have Mr. Ayaz Ahmed from PSQCA. So are you there, Mr. Ayaz?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay. So welcome to this seminar, and may I ask you a small question, and then you kindly comment on this presentation, and also let me put it this: what is the what is the status of ITFA standards in PSQCA after the harmonization, its implementation, and what are the barriers for the implementation? And my second question is, what is the legal definition of trans fat free at PSQCA according to, kindly please clarify, because we were just trying to decode it. So over to you, Mr. Yaz.
Thank you, madam. First of all, I must thank you for this providing the form. Actually, the status after harmonization, actually we have harmonized the standards regarding trans fatty acids, and we have incorporated the WHO levels in all our standards, whatever the relevant standards are there. At first phase, what we identified with along with all the stakeholders through technical committees, we identified the different products which were being addressed by the standards. So those standards now incorporate the WHO trans fatty acids limits. So I can name them. Actually, this is not only the Banaspati, but biscuits there, margarine, bakery fats, bread, rusks, and there are many other bakery wares. These were the standards which were harmonized regarding trans fatty acids by incorporating WHO TFA levels. So now after harmonization, PSQCA is also regulating this levels uh, federally. Uh, I have asked from our conformity assessment department. They have informed that they have started working on regulations regarding this trans fatty acids, and they are analyzing the samples based on the new standard. So regarding the different regulations, we are working. There is a committee that is called National Standards Steering Committee on Food Standards. This is a committee where the stakeholders are all regular along with the industry people. There are regulators, the food authorities and the PSQCA. So in this committee, the standards were harmonized, and now the second phase is the regulations are also being harmonized. So uh, under this committee, there has been developed a new subcommittee which is identifying the rules which are being duplicated in food authorities and PSQCA. So now we are identifying the rules, and where there is duplication, we are going to remove the duplication from the rules, the acts, whatever the regulations, whatever. Then after, if we, I am hopeful that we will be successful in this removing this duplication. Then the regulation will be harmonized. Then I think with ease we can do the single regulation, like we can say that there will be a certification like scheme I can say regulatory scheme may be developed, will be developed. So in near future, I think this will be resolve the problem, whatever you ask for. Thank you.
Ayasab. And so I think regulations are still in process. And my second question was, what is the legal definition of trans fat free product at PSQCA? Is there any particular definition, or we don't have?
Actually, trans fat free products. This trans fats, because they are produced industrially, we have incorporated this trans fatty acids definition from Codex. So whatever the Codex says, we have adopted this for trans fatty acids. But trans fats, if there is no such process, we may understand. And if the naturally produced oils, we can say from dairy, what Dr. Tahira already mentioned, from the animal source, the trans fatty acids are naturally produced there. But after, if they are not industrially produced from partially hydrogenated fats, and if they are not from dairy sources, other products may be trans fat free. But regarding WHO, we can say these are less than 2%, I can say, the trans fatty acid levels, they are not harmful, because WHO worldwide, they have recommended. So uh, there should be no point of discussion that trans fat free or trans fatty acid levels of more than 2%. But we can use the term what is best for human consumption, what we can what levels we can consume, uh, but we should not what we can say, we should not go beyond the WHO recommended levels. Thank you.
Thank you, Yasab. And I think Ms. Farah Akhtar has joined from Punjab Food Authority. Are you there, please? Ms. Farah, are you there? She's not there. Okay, so we can, we have my senior colleague, Dr. Khaja Masood Sahib, who is the National Coordinator on Nutrition at Ministry of National Health Services and NFA. And he is involved in this process at Ministry of Health. And I think he had a role in drafting the NAP also at Ministry of Health. So my question is, how do you see this brief, and do we have improvement in enabling environment for the policy interventions at now, as compared to the 3 years back, 3 or 4 years back in 2018 or 2020?
Thank you very much, Dr. Razia, for inviting me and as well as arranging this symposium. When Dr. Tahira was mentioning about the lack of coordination and communication, I was nodding in negativity. This was the status about 4 or 5 years back. Since we started working together and since the harmonization decision was made by the Council of Common Interest in 2019, that now the food standards or all related items standards would be made by PSQCA in collaboration with the Provincial Food Authority and also with the inputs from the Ministry of Health. And those would be then implemented and enforced by the provincial food authorities and also PSQCA wherever their mandate is available. At that time, definitely, as Dr. Tahira mentioned, there were different standards in different parts of the country, and this was one of the reasons which led to lack of enforcement, and it created a sort of loophole for the industry to get away with those standards. But again, once this decision was made, soon after that, the national standards were revised and the initial level of TFA, whichever they were in different parts of the country, they were made 5% of the total fat consumption. And industry was given another 3 years to take care of that till 2022, so that we can meet the deadline of WHO of 2023. So in the meantime, when we were developing NAP in 2019, we had analysis of different food items, including oil and fat, etc. And what Dr. Tahira showed was from that document. Very recently, we had another second analysis of different items. Fortunately, there has been some improvement in oil and especially in Vanaspati ghee trans fatty level, but unfortunately, all other items, especially the shortenings, fat shortenings, and other bakery items, they still are high in that. So when 2023 came, we decided to move on because already we were 3.5 years past the initial standards, and the process started earlier in 2023, and by July 2023, we developed and approved, of course, the PSQCA. When I say we mean PSQCA is developing, and all the food authorities, the NIH, and all the relevant stakeholders involved, along with Ministry of Health, they are part of that technical committee as well as standard committee. So Ayaz Saab was very kind enough, and he supported the entire process, brought their director standards. We had meetings with DG PSQC also. And in July, two main food items, all the oil and fat products, and all the bakery and other bakery wares, they were standardized to the WHO standard. So practically it's almost 50% plus, but still there are so many other food items that are still left, and that we have decided to use an alternate strategy, so that instead of going to all the food committees, multiple food committees, we get one single committee which can approve it, and we hope to do that by mid 2024. So regulatory environment is fine. We have the support of policymakers also, as well as different line ministries. There is no issue with that. The issue is enforcement and implementation, and in that the major hurdle or bottleneck is the lack of capacity to assess the TFA. We carried out all this analysis at PCSIR Karachi. Their lab was strengthened and accredited by WHO headquarters. So they are the only lab in Pakistan who have the capacity to follow the WHO standards for analysis of TFA. But of course, as Tahira mentioned, that they have specific rates, and we are working with them to reduce those costs. But again, we are also working with the partners, whichever partners are supporting the entire process globally, UN, INGOs, and local partners, to strengthen the capacity of at least two main food authorities and PSQCA for analysis of ITFA, so that they can start the enforcement. The only, the hurdle in enforcement is the lack of capacity. The moment it is available, I think we can start with the enforcement. And of course, the technical lead is Ministry of Health in all this aspect, but the PSQCA is the main regulatory body who have to approve it. So we are working closely with PSQCA as well as all the food authorities. And fortunately, all of them are on the same page, actually same page.
Okay, thank you, Khaja Saab, for this overview of the progress at Pakistan, in Pakistan. So we have Ms. Farah Athar from Punjab Food Authority with us. So are you there, Ms. Farah? Can you hear me?
Yes, please. You are audible, and I'm so sorry. I went for some other meeting for 5 minutes.
Okay. So welcome for this. Thank you very much for joining us. And we have, I have a small question can you please update on the status of the regulations on ITFA and banning of the Vanaspati ghee in Punjab, which was, I think, it was committed previously by 2022. And kindly please update on the status now on ITFA in Punjab. Thank you.
Thank you so much for providing me the opportunity of interaction with at this learning forum. Starting with the introduction, I'm Farah Athar, and I have been serving as Deputy Director Standard and Accreditation in the Punjab Food Authority. It's been 11 years I am engaged with this organization, and I'm leading the regulatory section of this authority from the last 7 years. Coming towards the question, Punjab Food Authority, being pioneer regulatory body for ensuring food safety regime, was the first regulatory body that pointed out and feel it important to limit the trans fatty acids, industrially produced trans fatty acids, because of the health hazards and the health implication associated with its consumption. And as we all know, all the forum is well aware that it's a prime reason of cardiovascular diseases, Alzheimer, and is even associated with the onset of various types of carcinomas. Currently, regulations or the trans fatty acid levels have been harmonized, as we have Punjab Food Authority has already implemented the harmonized standards since 2021. But still, PFA has not adopted the Banaspati, the standard of Banaspati, which has been formulated by the PSQC owing to the different reason. The first bone of contention was the trans fatty acids, and the second is the labeling of the saturated fats on the packaging of Banaspati. As we have already entered 2024 and there is no room for further delay, the WHO guideline is very clear mandate, and meeting it is not just a regulatory requirement, but a moral obligation to prioritize the health and well-being of our citizens. Thank you. I think I have addressed my question.
Thank you, Farah, for your input. And now I think we have a few colleagues from industry as well. So I would like to engage them for this discussion. And we have Husefa from KK Foods. And let me ask you very small questions. How the industry is responding to the standards and regulations in food supply according to reduce the ITFAs. What are your interventions, और क्या कर रहे हैं आप लोग जो हैं उसमें इंडस्ट्री में?
जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. Thank you very much for providing us this opportunity. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम लोग जो इंडस्ट्री है उसमें बेसिकली तो हम लोग स्नैक्स से रिलेटेड और हमारी जो फर्म्स है वो डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ ऑयल्स हमारे उसमें यूज़ हो रहे हैं. निम्को की उसमें कैटेगरीज में बेसिकली फॉल कर रहे हैं. स्नैक्स की, स्वीट्स की, इसमें हमारा घी और ऑयल, हमारा घी तो नहीं, कुकिंग ऑयल हमारा जितना है वो यूजेज है. और उसमें मैंने जितने क्वेश्चन अभी इनसे ओवरऑल सुने उसमें बहुत सारी जो है वो कॉम्प्लिकेशंस डिफरेंट टाइप्स की हैं, जिसमें हम उसमें मेरा यही क्वेश्चन है कि हम उसमें किस तरीके से उसको रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं कि हम लोग ह्यूमन लाइफ्स को मज़ीद सेव कर सकें, क्योंकि टोटली डिफरेंट बहुत सारे डेंजरस इसमें अभी जो यूजेज है उसमें यूज ऑयल बहुत ज़्यादा जगहों पे डिफरेंट यूज़ हो रहा है इंडस्ट्रीज़ में मोस्टली. और इसको मैं फर्स्ट इसको बैन करना चाहिए कि जिस तरीके से हम लोग जो है वो यूज़ ऑयल जिस तरीके से ओवरऑल हमारा सप्लाई और यूज़ हो रहा है, और इसमें हमें एक क्वांटिटी एक लिमिटेशन गाइडलाइन दी जाए कि इस लेवल तक हम लोग इस चीज़ को आगे अपने यूजेज में ला सकते हैं ताकि हम लोग इस ह्यूमन को सेव कर सकें. और इसमें हमें बाकी गाइडलाइन यहाँ एक्सपर्ट्स जितने हैं हमारे बैठे हुए वो हमें ज़ाहिर है इसमें मुख्तलिफ जितनी चीज़ों में उसमें हमें ब्रीफ देंगे. और जैसा PFA के मैं सुन रहा था कि इन्होंने पहले इस चीज़ को अडॉप्ट किया और हमें बहुत सारी इससे गाइडलाइन मिले. इवन अपन इस्लामाबाद फूड अथॉरिटी जब से हुई है इन्होंने हमें बहुत सारी गाइडलाइन ऑयल के हवाले से बाकी चीज़ों के हवाले से दी है, और इसमें हम लोग काफ़ी ज़्यादा काम कर रहे हैं और इसमें मज़ीद चीज़ें इंशाल्लाह टाइमली बेहतर हो जाएंगी.
Okay, thank you, Zephyr, for this your intervention. So we have Mr. Hassan Ali from GB Food Authority. So I would like to ask. So can you please update on the status of Food Authority at GP, and particularly with reference to the ITFA regulations, and what is your view on this? Thank you. Mr. Hassan Ali, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, could you hear my question or no?
I'm hearing. I am Hassan Ali, Deputy Director Food GB. Sorry for late connection की वजह से थोड़ा सा इशू आ गया. तो as far as GB में अभी जो है फूड अथॉरिटी से सच जैसे पंजाब है, KPK या हमारे जो दीगर जो 4 प्रोविंसेस है वहाँ पे काम कर रही है. GB में फूड अथॉरिटी का जो कयाम है वो अभी जो है असेंबली है उसमें एक अभी बना है. उसके अलावा जो है एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के साथ मिल के फिलहाल जो है जो फूड अथॉरिटीज की जो हमारी जो प्रैक्टिसेस है वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के जरिए से ही इम्प्लीमेंट हो रहा है. अभी फूड अथॉरिटी का जो कयाम है वो अमल में लाया गया है एक्ट के जरिए से. तो इंशाल्लाह विद इन 6 to 7 मंथ ये जो है ऑपरेशनलाइज हो जाएगी. बाकी जो है वो स्मॉल पैमाने पे वहाँ पे ये जो बेकरी शॉप्स वगैरह हैं, जो लार्ज स्केल पे जो ऑयल प्रोड्यूसिंग जो कारखाने वगैरह हैं, फैक्ट्रीज है, वो जीबी में नहीं है. ये क्योंकि डाउन उससे ही जो है कंट्री से या पंजाब से या केपीके वगैरह से जीबी की तरफ ट्रांसपोर्ट होती है. तो उनको जो मैकेनिज्म है ये पंजाब फूड अथॉरिटी का है या जो केपीके में या सिंध फूड अथॉरिटी वगैरह उन्हीं को हम फॉलो करते हैं. मेजॉरिटी जो है हम ये पंजाब फूड अथॉरिटी के जो मैनुअल्स हैं या जो चीज़ें हैं, जो रिस्ट्रिक्शंस वगैरह हैं, जो हिदायत है, बैन आइटम्स वगैरह हैं, उनको हम फॉलो करते हैं. प्लीज.
Thank you very much, Hassan Ali. And now we have with us Mr. Ghulam Hussain from R&D Punjab Oil. So, I think welcome for this discussion. And I would like to ask, what are the what are the interventions you are doing to promote this in reducing the ITFA in your in oils or in the industry, in the oil industry?
Thank you for inviting this session. तो अच्छा, मैं पंजाब ऑयल मिल में डिप्टी मैनेजर क्वालिटी कंट्रोल डिपार्टमेंट, रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट और इसके अलावा QC डिपार्टमेंट में देखता हूँ मैं. तो जब से पंजाब फूड अथॉरिटी के अंदर जो रेगुलेशन बनी है, हमारी कंपनी ने इसके ऊपर काम किया कि किस तरह से हम जो ट्रांस फैट को रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं. ट्रांस फैट बेसिकली पार्शियली हाइड्रोजनेशन से ही प्रोड्यूस हो जाता है. जो मेन सोर्स है वो पार्शियली हाइड्रोजनेशन. अब कोई भी कंपनी है वो पार्शियली क्यों हाइड्रोजनेट कर दी है? इसकी सबसे बड़ी वजह यह है, एक पब्लिक डिमांड है कि इसका टेक्सचर बहुत अच्छा बनता है. लोग कहते हैं जिसके अंदर ग्रेन बहुत अच्छा है तो हमें ग्रेन वाली प्रोडक्ट चाहिए, हालांकि उनको नहीं पता है कि इसके अंदर सारा ट्रांसफेट है. इसके अलावा इसका जो टेक्सचर है, इसके अलावा इसकी शेल्फ लाइफ भी इम्प्रूव हो जाती है. तो इसको रिड्यूस करने का तरीकाकार यही है कि फुली हाइड्रोजनेट किया जाए. फुली हाइड्रोजनेशन से ट्रांसफेट जीरो हो जाते हैं, बिल्कुल जीरो, लेकिन वो खाने के काबिल नहीं होता है. तो इसका तरीका ये है कि इसकी ब्लेंडिंग की जाती है. इसके अंदर पाम ऑयल या पामोलिन या सॉफ्ट ऑयल, इनके अंदर कोई ट्रांसफेट नहीं होता है. तो हमारी कंपनी बेसिकली ब्लेंडिंग के ऊपर काम कर रही है और फुली हाइड्रोजनेशन के ऊपर. और इस वक्त जितनी भी प्रोडक्ट हमारी मार्केट में है, हम ट्रांसफेट फ्री प्रोडक्ट, और हम बाकायदा लॉन्च कर चुके हैं और हम बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज को ट्रांसफेट फ्री प्रोडक्ट दे भी रहे हैं. जायका है, कैनोलिफ है, जी कैनोलिफ हमारी ब्रांड है.
टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन है थोड़ा सा कि व्हाट आर द प्रेफर्ड फैटी एसिड चेन्स फॉर आइसोमेराइजेशन एंड व्हाट चेंज शुड बी मेड टू रिड्यूस द ITFA? कोई पर्टिकुलर वो WHO की रिकमेंडेशन है जो कि 13 साइट्स हैं आइसोमेराइजेशन की जहाँ पे हम चेंज कर सकते हैं ना, तो उसमें आपकी इंडस्ट्री जो है उस पे किस चीज़ पे काम कर रही है और कैसे उसको देख रही है?
हम तो फुली हाइड्रोजनेशन के ऊपर काम करते हैं और हमारे पास टेस्टिंग फैसिलिटी भी मौजूद है. FTNIR जो एक लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी हमने मशीन ली है हमारे पास ब्रोकर से, तो इसके ऊपर FTNIR पे हम चेक करते हैं कि TFA कितना है इसके अंदर. तो उसी से भी हमें अंदाज़ा हो जाता है, जीरो जब हो जाते हैं हमें अंदाज़ा हो गया ये फुली हाइड्रोजनेट है प्रोडक्ट. फिर इसकी ब्लेंडिंग करते हैं. अगर आप सिस एंड ट्रांस की बात करें मैडम,
जी हाँ,
वो बेसिकली पार्शियली जब हाइड्रोजनेट होगा तो वो मैक्सिमम ट्रांसफेट यानी हाइड्रोजन अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में जाते हैं. CC सिंगल बॉन्डिंग में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. डबल बॉन्डिंग और ट्रिपल बॉन्डिंग हाइड्रोजन इसमें ऐड हो जाता है और अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में जाते हैं, तो ये ट्रांसफेट हो गया. अगर वो सेम डायरेक्शन में जाएंगे वो फुली हाइड्रोजनेट हो जाएगा और वो सिस डायरेक्शन सिस ट्रांसफेट किया तो वो इतना नुकसानदायक नहीं है.
ठीक है. या प्लीज जी प्लीज नाम बता दीजिए
I'm from Saqib. I'm Saqib from Karas Private Limited,
अच्छा okay.
the sister concern of Desi Bakers, and I'm working here since last 10 years. Previously, I'm basically the master of food technology from Karachi University, Karachi. I have experience of some oil industries also. Previously, I was working in Habib Oil Mill in Karachi. Basically, we are in Pakistan, we don't have any facility of the isomerization in food industries which are producing the oils. This is our lack. We are unable to, as an industrial production producers, we are unable to have any type of polymerization. I think so. It's basically from the process, as Ms. Tahra already said, from the processing and control processing, we can control the ITFA. So we have to have what we need, the proper selection of the raw materials from definitely from vegetable sources, and the controlled processing with the controlled environment, we can reduce ITFA in industry during production of the oils. So I think isomerization and isopolymerization, intercertification, we don't have any facility in industries. Right. Ji.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Now we have Dr. Zafar, who is currently working as a food safety specialist at FAO, and he is PhD in food sciences from the University of Queensland, Australia. He has 20 years of experience, and he played a major role in the regulatory landscape of the food safety in Food Authority in Pakistan. So I would like to have your comment, Dr. Zafar, and after this presentation, and what is your recommendation? Thank you.
So I think there are many, but thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. As far I would endorse, like we in 2018 made this regulation of banning the Banaspati ghee in Pakistan, because that is a major. There's no scientific debate upon whether is it safe or unsafe. There's very clear direction. It is directly linked to your heart attack, cancer, diabetes, and depression, Alzheimer as well, all of that. So the reason at Punjab Food Authority to ban was basically because the food safety situation in Pakistan is extremely worse, because I've been working in this area for a very long time, and we did a lot of research, very eye-opening, alarming situation there. So approach at that time was basically to take care of the top organization that are producing massive amount of processed food, and then they trickle down. So having standards on the bigger companies or mass producing thing, that would have more impact. As you would know, like majority of our food is street food, which is not covered. Even PSQC does not have mandate to make any recommendation for street food. So they can make the standards for Banaspati ghee, but when you make halwa puri or paratha or whatever, all that is unregulated, completely unregulated. Punjab Food Authority had those relations for the open loose food as well, but the approach at that time was this, and there was enough time was given to industry, 18 months, to actually adjust their businesses, but they went to court, and on very weaker ground, they said this is a technical barrier to trade, they got the exemption. So this case was not fought well. So that was, I think, the best strategy, because we can, we were as you said, like second largest consumer of trans fatty, the Banaspati ghee in the world, and the amount that we use is too much. Even the amount of that spend on the import, this extremely high, for 4.3 billion. It's a very huge amount. So this, I think, the second, the few things like I can comment rather than I will quickly add certain things. Like street food should be considered, very dearly, because that's a very massive component of the food, and Islamabad Food Authority can work well, with FAO. We made some street food regulations and some of the capacity building things as well. So that can be one thing, because that's a major source of ITFA for the general population. we don't have any claim regulation. So I think that was a good idea to add the labeling for claim, like what is virtually trans fat free and what is trans fat free. So this has to be taken up the food authorities. Um, the suggestion like using palm oil fraction, palm stearin, I think this is not a good suggestion. So this should be discouraged and more soft oil should be used. There was a policy in Pakistan like using 35% soft oil local and the mixture, but that did not materialize. Um, then, many, there is 28% informal market for the banaspati, this oil in Pakistan, which um, again goes unnoticed completely. Many of the smuggled oil, the reused oil, the reused oil, like loose oil, as I said, that once somebody uses the oil, they throw it rather than throwing it, it goes to the second tier producer and then to the third year, and it never ends, So that is a major source of TFA as well. Like when people fry their products, they sell it to other next user. And interestingly, I found that in KP, majority of that waste, black diesel, tar, some kind of thing, that the end product that goes to the spices because it colors that so well and it's very tasty, So it never ends, it's technically called as a gutter oil, and even China and other countries have issue with that kind of oil. They cannot control it. So Pakistan, it would be a lengthy debate, but this is another source, which goes completely unnoticed. So banning loose oil, this is one of the policy thing as well. Like we can ban the loose oil or the reused oil that circulates. So there was a regulation by Punjab Food Authority to have biodiesel production of that oil. That can be a good source of biodiesel production. Uh, yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you, Dr. Zafar. So you said that there is no legal definition.
Maths karna chah, there is nothing as virtually trans fat free. And we are already working with PSQC and the Competition Commission of Pakistan to get this thing removed from those producers who are writing VTF. It's actually, there's nothing as VTF.
Okay.
And secondly, just to add on what Dr. Zafar has said, the branded products come under the domain of PSQCA. So that's what all the regulations that are being made are for the branded products which are available in the market. For loose oil and the unregulated oil, the provincial food authorities have all the mandate to implement the same regulations which have been made for the branded batch product for that. That is why Punjab Food Authority has made those regulations at their own level to take care of this loose oil, which is unfortunately is also sold by the same companies who are producing the branded products. I mean, they claim that, oh, this is coming from somewhere else, but actually they are the one who use their low quality waste oil as the loose oil themselves.
Okay, thank you for this information. And now we have Dr. Muhammad Ajmal, Vice President of Pakistan Medical Association. So, Dr. Ajmal, welcome. I think we all know that the 90% of the non-communicable diseases can be treated at the primary health care. And Pakistan's 80% of the primary health care is with the private sector, like the clinicians and in the private sector in Pakistan. So my question is, what role can the PMA play in bringing private practitioners to educate population on the reducing the consumption of the ITFA products, ITFA containing products?
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for providing us the opportunity to learn from the experts so much, and also giving us the platform to offer our services to spread the awareness. And definitely PMA can do a lot. Pakistan Medical Association, Islamabad chapter is more than willing and happy to collaborate with the SDPI and all other stakeholders to spread the awareness. And definitely my takeaway points from this session is that we need to spread the awareness among the people, first of all, and engage the stakeholders, provide the alternatives to the producers, incentivize it. And as far as spreading the awareness and counseling the people to reduce the use of this trans fatty acids, oil, and ghees, vanaspati, doctors and private health sector and public health sector can play a major role, and we can make a way forward, we can plan a way forward, and we can collaborate and contribute, and we can like arrange seminars, and we can, like Dr. Tahira said, in cardiology and all other medical departments, we can display banners, we can distribute the leaflets, we can give the awareness to our doctors also, and then doctors can communicate to their patients, and definitely a structured program we can like do that, and hopefully it will contribute to this greater cause.
Thank you. And in our, as we have mentioned in our policy brief as well, so one of the very important stakeholder of this project is academia as well. So because they can provide us the research products, and so that we can implement. So we have with us Dr. Tahira Sadiq. She is a medical doctor with higher degree in public health. And at RIFA, she is at RIFA Institute of Lifestyle Medicine and Medical Educationist. So Dr. Tahira, welcome. And as you all well aware of the health impacts and how academia can be actively engaged in reducing the ITFA in food supply chain, and can contribute in producing local evidence or knowledge for alternatives, as well as for the reducing the incidence of the NCDs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Azia, for having me here and giving us platform, enriched platform to speak about our perspective. Academia, as we all are talking about, like awareness and public health, this is actually very important. And as you said, that main problem is we need to educate our healthcare professionals, our doctors, because once we taught them in undergraduate studies, okay, this is what, the concept of fats and all that, but that is not enough, or that is just like a basic concept. We want to engage them in practicalities. So that is, I think, very important. And when we talk about awareness, especially in academia, we need to launch certain courses at undergraduate level, and at the same time for postgraduate courses as well. I would like to quote here example of Rifa International University, that recently we have launched a new department as a separate entity discipline known as lifestyle medicine. Because we are talking about industrial trans fatty acids, that is just one part of diet. But what about exercise, what about stress, and what about positive psychology and sleep? Because these all, they do coordinate with each other, and then the outcome is manifested in terms of obesity, maybe, which is known as mother of all the diseases. Talk about inflammatory diseases, metabolic diseases. Obesity is the root cause of all kind of non-communicable diseases, and industrial trans fatty acids is one of the major contributor in that. And why it is? Because we all know that diabetes, we are ranking, I think, fourth among the topmost diabetic country, having a great incidence of diabetes. And for diabetes, visceral or abdominal obesity, which is a byproduct of industrial trans fatty acids, and and this is one of the reasons. So I think we need to educate our community, educate our doctors, educate the public. And for that matter, I would, recommend here in this prestigious platform that we need to open lifestyle medicine departments in each and every medical institutes. So our medical students from the scratch, they should know the importance of having, good quality food, what actually it means. Like we can take an example of this plate, and how we can give alternates to our doctors and populations. We can like make them aware of how to create healthy recipes. So these are all different aspects of awareness. It's not just the bookish or cognitive part of awareness. We need to put in effort, and at the same time, we need to open lifestyle medicine clinics at every hospital. So, like, I hope all of you will agree with me that cardiovascular specialists, they do give 10 15 list of drugs, but they are just recommending 2 3 words maybe, चहलकदमी करें और जो ये मिर्च मसाले से परहेज करें. That's all about prevention or promotion of health. So ideally they should be referred to the lifestyle clinics, and the lifestyle coach should be guiding them about actually what is industrial trans fatty acids, and what is the concept of healthy diet and all that. So I think academia includes everything related to knowledge, changing the attitude, and then giving them the possible options for practicing those learned principles. Thank you.
Thank you for this information, and also the example of this plate with when I went to Iran in, I think, way back in 2020. So everywhere in government offices, they were serving the fruits, a big apple and a big orange. And that was I think, the change of their lifestyle. So I think it's a discussion. Another academician, Dr. Fawzia Sadiq from Shifa Tamir Millat, is with us. And she is a professor of physiology, and she is currently working on rare dyslipidemias in Pakistan. And she can, Dr. Fawzia, please highlight on the importance of reducing the ITFAs to reduce the impact on the health of the people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rasia. Because I'm working on rare dyslipidemia is genetics. We have cousin marriages, lots of that. So that's one of the contributing factor to all of the cardiac diseases, cardiovascular diseases, and diabetes and associated other comorbids. Now, the thing is, as an academic, we can all provide you the scientific evidence. But the thing is, how do we actually motivate people to change their behaviors? As you rightly said, you eat paratha in the morning. Can you resist it? If you can resist it, you expect it from other people as well. Okay, so I love Jamil's mithai and I can't resist it. So that's my bad. But the thing is, I'm more concerned about our common issues in the society. We have Canolive and we have soya, we have dalda, we have other brands in the market. And 1 liter, 1 kg costs 800, 700, 600. Now, how do I know that this particular oil is good to use? Okay. Can I actually trust the label of the product? Yeah, convince me, please. If you can convince me, then I can advise other people as well. Go and use this one. But can everybody, what's the word? Can everybody afford to purchase the bestest oil in the market? Can anybody earning just 20,000, 30,000, can they afford to buy 5 liters of oil every month? No. The thing is, our end users are going to go for the cheapest option available in the market, and that is not helping. Like your concept note, Dr. Razia, is all based around the obesity and cardiovascular diseases and diabetes, but we have, more issues that need to be addressed. And Dr. Solari, you've been talking about all of these issues, so you would know it that we, as Dr. Taira also said, multifaceted approach. All of the stakeholders need to be on board. I think other than the academic solutions, we require help from all of the stakeholders. The government should support that. Can we have cheaper oil option available in the market so that we could advise the end users that, this is the option and this is the hydrogenated trans fat free option available. As you rightly said, use of oil and multiple use of the like reheating of the oil that produces isomers. Not all trans fat is bad, because if they allow us the trans fat, cis and trans fat of the conjugated linoleic acid, 910 or 1012, that is healthier option. That is good for your heart. So, you know, there are so many things. So what should I talk about? Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, that is the point, to highlight few things which academician should, like, I think they can at least give this knowledge to their students, so the next generation is with equipped with this knowledge and they can make the change. So that is the so we have Dr. Tanveer from NIH, and I think we can ask him about what is happening at he is the lead of coordinator at leading the nutrition program at NIH, nutrition division at NIH. And what is your take on this? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, SDPI and other delegates for providing me opportunity on this platform. Here we have a discussion on trans fatty acid reduction. We need to design our some sort of objectives to develop some policy and awareness. And we already, and thanks to Dr. Khwaja, they took this opportunity on multiple platforms in recent months for the development of policy and even in the incorporation of harmonized standards with less than 2% TFAs. With respect to industry awareness, we have some industrial example that they are producing trans-free, so-called oils. And we need to develop the federal government and provincial governments to take it serious to reduce the ITFAs. Just I want to say that what would be the impact of this platform from STPI, outcomes from this platform to initiate either in the formulation of policy or federal or provincial government to reduce the ITFAs. It has been reported from the WHO in 2024, 278,000 deaths are globally due to TFS. But I think we didn't work on that. These sort of deaths might possible from comorbidities. So we didn't work on that, and we are reducing the TFS, but we are not changing our lifestyles. So it is not the availability of fat or oils which is free from TFAs. Our utilization, our processing, our freezing, our keeping and maintenance of products at our home or cavalry outlets, we need to add on the TFAs with our working outputs. So with respect to TFAs, how we can reduce it, we need to develop that we have certain platforms to initiated the policies to reduce TFAs, and the sort of initiation of policy could be the source of some sort of implementation and execution from federal or provincial governments to take it serious. So if we have developed some policy guidelines and we are incorporated our harmonized standards, so we need to take it serious on multiple platforms, like with respect to strengthening of labs. We have a little bit fully functional or partially functional regulatory bodies, and we don't have main 7 labs in our country to reduce the to check on ITFAs. And with respect to applied nutrition and research activities, we have a lot of researchers and doctors which have understand the different interventions to reduce the ITFAs with the process of esterification and other, but that is on the part of piloting. Why we are not incorporating in our industry, or our industry why not is taking it serious, because they taking it cost effective, not cost effective, so they are importing the oils and other products. The reason behind this, we have the R&D activities at a very low level. We have certain platforms which are providing the contract manufacturing procedures. So in food industry, we could adopt this policy to provide the contract manufacturing at least one in one district, so that all the district stakeholders, our partners, our manufacturer competitors, they could get facilitation from that regional and well-developed industry or lab of that industry. So that could be helpful in developing the ITFA's reduction system in oils and food regulatory authorities, and they don't have any sort of labs to check this ITFAs. And even I didn't understand, they didn't get a smart tool is there for the detection of butyrorefractive index, for the identification of source of oil, and that is edible, plant origin, or is animal side. So if we have study on that TFAs along with the comparison study with the butyrorefractive index, so we can check the local vendors, the street vendors, the reused oils for the prevalence of TFAs on the basis of BR values. So this would be the small initiative, and could help the regulatory bodies to check at the site of the. So they have surveillance team and vigilance team. They need to have the handheld tools with them to initially check the strategies. And we need to incorporate this contaminants, chemical contaminants in the field of HACCP activities. So every industry could be the periodical measure of HACCP activity, not with respect to microbial activity, but with respect to chemical contaminants. And this ITFA could be the part of, could be declared as a contaminant. So we can do with this help. With respect to nutrition education and awareness campaigns, and we are all doing, and we are doing all these initiatives, platform discussions from 2 to 3 decades. And I think a lot of billions we have spent on this. So there is a sort of, some sort of Pakistan, less than 1,500 million Pak rupees, which could incorporate to strengthen 7 regional labs in Pakistan to analyze these TFAs and other food quality and safety measures. That's fair enough.
How much does this handheld tool cost?
Actually, I think less than 100,000. But we need to have check a comparison table, because we check the BR values at 40 degrees centigrade in the labs. But then surveillance teams and with respect to regulatory bodies, they need to have some comparison activity for analysis of BR values at 33 room temperature, and they could have comparison chart with respect to 40 degrees.
No, pakode to 180 pe pak
Yeah.
rahe honge.
No, yes, but that could be the reuse oil, just change of BR values. Yeah, but field activities could be performed by the surveillance team, food authorities, and they are doing the surveillance only. They are not performing the analytical reports, and they are not bound to seal any manufacturer with their local tools. They need to have a proper analysis from some designated labs.
Dr. Rasia, there is a serious issue here. What is the solution? Okay, So we want to find out what are the solutions. How can we prevent pakode and luch fry wali sari cheezein?
Yeah,
How can we do that?
one thing I just want to add, we need to, the regulatory bodies need to develop some sort of waste management system with respect to oils and ghee, so that they have some sort of just like Al Barak, there's some sort of, they have some association or consortium to collect that reused oil, and how to manage or fix them with the help of waste management system. That could be help in this regard.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tanveer. And now we have some time. If any participant can add on additional comments, you are welcome. Thank you.
Can I just add one more thing? Okay, Dr. Taira Sadiq, she's not my sister, but she's got the same surname. Good to know you. The thing is, physical activity. I have a major concern in Pakistan. We say, go do some physical activity. Do we provide the facilities to have physical activity? No. Pavements, you go, pavements are uncovered or they're occupied with other like ready or whatever, and you're walking onto that, and then you have to jump down the pavement to be able to, walk. These are not covered. So we have sun out all the time. Khawateen are very much conscious about the skin tone. They wouldn't go out in the sun. They wouldn't walk. We have issues, we have several issues. So we want green infrastructure erected in the country. We want to promote urban health. We want to prevent diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. Our people can't afford whatever is healthy. I mean, we need to come up with something, some actionable points, and maybe one agenda that we could push, or like we could all push together to be able to deliver something in 5 years' time. We need to have proper evidence, proper data. Actions and actions and actions, delivery, and we get.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fozia. Actually, this is something which is very important, because at the same time we are talking about consumption of calories, and at the same time burning of the calories. And for exercise, like you jot down a very ideal situation where it should be very facilitating towards exercise or simple walk. But to me, to start with, I think the take home message for today, all of us sitting here, would be that at least we can break our sedentary lifestyle. And when we talk about sedentary lifestyle, this is just like, if I give you a tip, that after every 1 hour, one should be doing a 5-minute physical activity, maybe roaming around, because right now we all are continuously sitting here for almost 2 hours. So it means we are having sedentary lifestyle. And about the doing exercise, no doubt, ideal walk time is the evening time, when you are getting sunlight, and that will ultimately help you in secretion of melatonin, and it will help indirectly in your sleep cycle as well. But to start with, just like we are recommending medicine thrice a day, so why not to ask your patients to, okay, do walk at your home. Definitely you have a floor. So 10 minutes in divided doses, 10 minutes in the morning, evening, and at night. So at least we can do that. Basically, the thing is we need to break our sedentary lifestyle, and to start with, even no matter with the baby steps. Thank you so much.
Along with the reduction in ITFAs.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Most of our population are not literate, basically. What we are doing to literate them, educate them, because many of the population is consuming the oil, and we are very fond of that type of food to take in our diet. Like we are using the samosas, we are using and different types of fried foods. And again, we are using the big products here. All of these products have the trans fatty acids, even before processing and after the processing also. So, what action could we take to educate that illiterate or non-educated population and our so we have to take some action like to educate them also.
I think all the comments are noted, and we will try to bring them together, bring these, highlight these comments, and in our final document. So we have, yeah.
So you have talked about much about the demand, the making of the cheap availability of the oil and all that. So that probably won't be possible in a short period of time. As no, not even the long period. Okay, let's do it long period. My suggestion in this regard, if it is practicable, I don't know. Like we'd label on cigarettes, you don't stop the cigarette, but you write on the cigarette that it is injurious for health. So at least we can take a step towards, telling the restaurants that we cook in the oil, soft oil. We don't use vanaspati ghee, or even labeling of the vanaspati ghee on this, that this is injurious to health or something like that. I mean, if you are selling the cigarette, but you are telling the public that it is injurious. Now it is the public, whether they are, taking at least 50% people would be, buying this idea that's okay. They will be becoming aware of the ill effects. And the people who said that are illiterate. So the people through this campaign, I think they can, they have a choice actually to go for this or otherwise. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And we are coming to the end, and we have Dr. Abid Suleri, Executive Director, SDPI, with us. So for the final comment and closing remarks, over to you, Dr. Abid Suleri.
Thank you very much. मेरा ख्याल है जो इस वक्त level of interest है, perhaps it's not closing remarks. You can keep on having this informal discussion even after the closure of this session. And I think ये जो multi-sectoral exchange of dialogue है, they are extremely important for issues which are multidimensional in nature. तो जब हम फूड सिक्योरिटी की बात करते हैं, मुल्क को फूड सिक्योर बनाना चाहते हैं, तो वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ 3 बेसिक पिलर्स: अफोर्डेबिलिटी, अवेलेबिलिटी और उसकी जो नॉरिशमेंट हमारी बॉडी को प्रोवाइड करे. और अभी तक फूड सिक्योरिटी पे या फूड इनसिक्योरिटी पे जो मेजर फोकस है, दैट इज़ ऑन इम्प्रूविंग अवेलेबिलिटी एंड इम्प्रूविंग अफोर्डेबिलिटी. और आज ये सारे जो अपने अपने सेक्टर्स के स्पेशलिस्ट जो डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं, वो डिस्कस कर रहे हैं इन अ सिनेरियो वेयर फूड इज प्रोबेबली अवेलेबल, it is affordable in whatever range one talks about, and then after having that food, perhaps it's not providing us the nourishment, it's opposite to it, and that is not leaving us any food secure. तो ये जो वेस्ट में जो प्रॉब्लम आ रही है इस वक्त, वो माल नरिशमेंट वर्सेस ओबेसिटी आ रही है. हमारे यहाँ जो प्रॉब्लम मैं देख रहा हूँ, एंड ऑफ कोर्स जैसा कि डॉक्टर साहबा ने फरमाया, उसमें हमारा लाइफस्टाइल डज मैटर इन दिस कंट्री. आपके बाकी सारे वो जो फैक्टर्स थे, मैं सोच रहा था कि अगर उनको पूरा कर भी दिया जाए, तो सिंपल फैक्ट के लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन क्या, कराची में आप स्ट्रीट पे लिबर्टी ले सकते हैं बहुत से एरियाज़ में वॉक करने की, तो वो एक अगेन मेजर चैलेंज जो है वो बन जाता है. द रीज़न पीपल्स लाइफस्टाइल इज़ एज इट इज़. तो उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अगर हम देखें तो आई कम्प्लीटली एंडोर्स जो अभी फाइनल वर्ड्स ब्रिगेडियर साहब ने बताए, कि मेरा ख्याल है हमें कंज्यूमर्स को एटलीस्ट वो चॉइस जो है वो उनकी एक इन्फॉर्म्ड चॉइस होनी चाहिए. सो those who would have to have, abhi Ramzan aa raha hai, and that would be full month full of this trans fatty acids.
French fries have trans
21% वाले कहाँ से निकले?
मैं भी इनसे पता करता हूँ। तो मेरा ख्याल एटलीस्ट ये जो अवेयरनेस रेजिंग है, इसको अगर मैं देखूँ तो एटलीस्ट इसके 4 स्टेप्स हमारे पास बनते हैं। पहला स्टेप जो है वो डिस्क्लोजर है, इंडस्ट्री की जानिब से एक ट्रांसपेरेंट और ऑनेस्ट डिस्क्लोजर, व्हाट इट इज़ एंड व्हाट इट इज़ नॉट। और ऑब्वियसली वो डिस्क्लोजर होगा तो आपके पास इंडस्ट्री में इनोवेशन की गुंजाइश आएगी और इंडस्ट्री में उसके ऑल्टरनेटिव जो है वो ऑटोमेटिकली आना शुरू हो जाएंगे। सेकंड स्टेप जो है वो अवेयरनेस अमंग कंज्यूमर्स है। थर्ड स्टेप जो है वो इस पे रेगुलेशन है, एंड रेगुलेशन विच इज़ प्रैक्टिकल, डूएबल, प्रैग्मेटिक, नॉट के जिसको एक दफ़ा हम बना दें और फिर उसको हम कभी भी अप्लाई ना करवा सके। और फोर्थ स्टेप जो है वो फिर इसकी इन्फोर्समेंट है। तो दीज आई थिंक 4 स्टेप्स दे नीड्स टू बी टेकन simultaneously. Of course, one would like to see this nation more nourished. जो malnutrition के इस वक्त हम अपने statistics और जो numbers देखते हैं, apart from cardiovascular diseases and diabetic, जो कि again they are quite scary, but even अगर हम malnutrition को भी देखते हैं तो हमें उस पर देखना चाहिए कि कौन कौन से ऐसे एलिमेंट्स हैं जिनको कि हम रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं। अभी यहाँ बैठे हुए मैं जो पहला सवाल मैंने बैठते ही सारिम से किया कि ये सारी प्लेट में ट्रांस फैटी एसिड्स की मिकदार क्या होगी, तो इसने कहा लोड्स। तो फिर डॉक्टर रजिया ने बड़ा अच्छा आइडिया दिया। सो विल ट्राई के अपने तौर पे, जैसे आप देख रहे होंगे कि हमने प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स जो हैं ये ख़त्म कर दी अपनी मीटिंग्स में। सो हम जो भी अपने लेवल पे स्टेप ले सकते हैं, आई थिंक वी नीड टू टेक दैट स्टेप। और फिर हमें इस अपना स्फीयर ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस जो है उसको ब्रॉड करना होगा। लेकिन इस सारी डिस्कशन में एज अ कंज्यूमर आई वुड रियली लाइक टू नो कि जी फिर आप मुझे चॉइसेस क्या देते हैं। इज़ आई डोंट नो, जस्ट आस्किंग यू आउट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट कि इज़ ऑलिव ऑयल एनी बेटर, इज़ देसी घी एनी बेटर, इज़ आई डोंट नो, आई एम नॉट एन एक्सपर्ट इन दिस एरिया, इज़ एयर फ्रायर आर जस्ट रिड्यूसिंग ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ फैट्स। तो इसमें एक कंज्यूमर की हैसियत से मैं डेफिनेटली, जब आप ये सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन मुझे देंगे तो मैं कल डॉक्टर साहबा के पास जाके या किसी भी, तो जब मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि अच्छा जी आई वांट टू रिड्यूस ट्रांस फैटी एसिड्स फ्रॉम माय डाइट, आप मुझे कह दें कि शुगर खाना कम कर दो सो आई कैन कंट्रोल इट, कि अच्छा जी मुझे पता है जिन जिन चीज़ों में वो है उसको मैं कंट्रोल कर लेता हूँ। कोलेस्ट्रॉल आप कहते हैं कि अच्छा वो कोलेस्ट्रॉल फ्री ऑयल पे चले जाएं तो मुझे मार्केट में पता चल जाता है, लिखा होता है, आई डोंट नो वो कितना अथेंटिक है, बट एटलीस्ट लिखा होता है कि कोलेस्ट्रॉल फ्री, और मैं अपने जहन को तसल्ली दे लेता हूँ कि इट्स कोलेस्ट्रॉल फ्री। लेकिन ट्रांस फैटी एसिड का सब्स्टिट्यूट जो है वो क्या है, उस पर भी हमें बात करने की ज़रूरत है, ताकि अगर मेरे पास चॉइसेस होंगी तो डेफिनेटली मैं एज ए कंज्यूमर अपनी बसात में इस्तात में रहते हुए उसको मैं अफोर्ड करने की कोशिश करूँगा। थैंक यू।
उसको हम 20% पे दे रहे हैं, तो सारी चीजें मैंने बोली। There are 3 things which we need to maximum. One is oil, global average is 500 और इसमें 90% सूट जो है हमारे बॉडी का है, उनको थोड़ा कमी लगता है। And started working on ITFA, I gradually started reducing the purchase of oil from my home. We came down from 5 liters to 2.5 liters. It's going on just fine. Don't put the oil on the shelf, the kitchen, and I think it will be good. Second is sugar. Global average is again 3 to 5 kilograms per person per year. And we are using about 15 to 18 kilograms per person per year. The third is per capita utilization of third oil, fat oil. We do not go out for half a kilometer. There is no pavement covered throughout the world. I mean, I was in one of the countries recently, and my hotel got 1 kilometer from the. I mean, my meetings go out in the morning daily, and even the metro was about half a kilometer. Now you ask your child to go, maybe about 45 kilometers to the market area for us. So और जो ग्लोबल हमारे कंट्री का ग्लोबल इशू है, we are for decrease in by motorbike, we are trying to decrease in by small car and bigger car we cannot want. Physical activity के लिए diagnostic basic होती है, cover भी होती है, नियत चाहिए और नियत करना। तो तीनों चीजें हम कंट्रोल कर लेना, हमारी 90% बीमारियां और 95% ये खत्म हो जाएगा। और थर्ड थिंग, आई एम सॉरी, आई डू नॉट एग्री विद वेरी साहब अबाउट इंडिविजुअल चॉइसेस, ओनली चॉइस, ओनली सॉल्यूशन इज सेलेक्शन एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट, because of some areas we cannot give the consumer to choose between the good and the bad. Public health is responsibility of the government, whether it is iodized soil, fortified food, trans fats, saturated fat, saturated fat. We'll come to that. I do not want to open that door because all this palm oil is full of saturated fat and we have to take care of that also. The next step is that. So, regulation and enforcement and industry would manage it. They know how to manage it, they just don't want to do it. Half of our industry is exporting oil and products. All those oil and products are global standard, trans fat, free, not free, less than 2%. The same industry, when we start producing oil significantly, they say, oh, we do not have the issue.
वो जो आपने campaign, madam said about that campaign was not for calories. That campaign, I was there in the first meeting and we were invited. That campaign was for trans fatty acids and saturated fats. Unfortunately, the person involved, industry and the bakery industry, and after 2 meetings, it became calories. Because everyone forgot. Calories is, I'm sorry, BS. Because even if you take 500 calories from a very dangerous source, that is more dangerous than 200 calories from a healthy source. So calories don't make much. It's the source from where we're getting calories, and these political people or the awareness and all these things is not going to work. It's the regulation which has worked globally and it will work in Pakistan, seconded by the awareness creation by the academia. As I did, reduce to half my oil consumption, do it in your own homes. Immediately reduce it to half and then spread it in your families, in your nearabouts. The same goes with sugar. तो ये जब तक हम इसको खुद कंट्रोल नहीं करेंगे तो ये नहीं ठीक होगा। ये हम ये सोचते रहते हैं गवर्नमेंट के पास पैसे नहीं है अवेयरनेस क्रिएशन के।
जब किसी हम इस्लाम में उसमें जाते हैं ना तो वो कहते हैं तो यहाँ पर ऐड करके उठेंगे।
I think the discussion is going to be it's very interesting and it's very participatory, and I thank you all. And we have a few online comments also, very good comments, and we acknowledge Mr. Zubair Faisal Abbasi for his comment, and we would like to incorporate in our final document. And I think
the coalition that we are working with
these fatty acids and he's very supportive, and he is taking care of that awareness campaign
which Dr. Saiban was talking about.
So I think any other comment or we have come to the end of this discussion. Thank you very much all for this participation, and thank you the colleagues who have joined online and gave their opinion as well as listened to us. And I think with this collaborative effort, we will come to some conclusion, as well as we will come to, as everybody is doing a good job at their end, like NIH and Ministry of Health also. So we can make the change, and we can be the agent of change. So thank you very much. And one thing is like Abid Sulari has, Dr. Abid Sulari has mentioned about this plate. So I would try it my best to change this plate, so that at least we can. Yeah, they serve just salad and fruit, and their food is also so.
I would not understand the.
Okay, thank you. Let me thank. Okay, thank you. Thank you
very much all. And then, yeah, so.